Hi folks, welcome to AVC. Today's going to be a quick review for another mouth-to-lung RTA. It's going to be, of course, this one here. This is going to be the Innokin Ares 2, designed by Phil Basardo and Dimitri the Vaping Greek. Comes under the platform series from Innokin. Now, I reviewed the Ares 1 about 2.5 years ago. This one, the build deck is very similar, but the airflow is very different. Comes in two different sizes, 24mm or 22mm. My one's going to be 24mm. The 24mm will hold 4 ml of e-liquid. The 22mm will only hold 2 ml of e-liquid. This was set out to me a little while ago from SourceMore for review, so big thank you to SourceMore. What we're going to do first, go down, look on the packaging. You get quite a lot of the packaging with this one, same as with the Ares 1, so there's quite a bit to show you. I'll show you around the deck, show you around the airflow, throw in a quick build, then we'll come back up top. We'll talk about it. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, here we have a box for the Ares 2. A little picture on the front of the RTA itself. It says D24 here. Like I said earlier on, there's going to be two versions, a 22mm and a 24mm. This one's a 24. It will hold 4 ml of e-liquid, whereas a 22 will only hold 2 ml, I believe. This side here is going to be the Vaping Greek's signature. Tells you it's part of the platform series and designed by P. Rizzardo and, of course, the Vaping Greek. On this side, just Ares 2, MTL RTA, and the colour, mine's stainless steel. And on this side, it's going to be Phil's signature, the same sort of information there. Give it a little pull tab, got to pull it open. And inside, same as with the Ares 1, got a picture of the boys on the front. You open it up, it's going to be a little instruction booklet. It's going to be a little QR code. If you scan this code, it will take you to some instructional videos on YouTube by Phil himself. And on the back, a little thank you from the boys. Inside the box at the top, we've got the usual Phil and Dimitri love heart. Find more under the tray. Underneath here, there's a lot of things. I've already taken them out. This is going to be the RTA itself. I'm going to put it to one side. Yeah, like with the Ares 1 that I reviewed quite a long time ago. You're going to get two coiling rods. One's going to be Phil's, one's going to be Dimitri's. Phil's is just a straight standard one. One side's going to be 2.5mm. One side will be 3mm. And on Dimitri's, it's going to be like a screw where you wrap the wire. It goes into the grooves. Then you unscrew the whole coil off. Got to get a double-ended screwdriver. One end will be flat, one end will be Phillips. Comes with these little caps that you screw on to cover them up. Got to get a little baggie, some cotton, some wire and some coils. On the back it does tell you what the wire is. These are going to be pre-built 1 ohm camphor coils, and that wire is going to be 1 meter of the 26 gauge camphor wire. I do like that they tell you what the wire is and what the coils are. It's going to be a little baggie here with 2 spare post screws. Inside that baggie it's going to be all this lot as well. I took it all out earlier. And the final baggie keeps going, this one, there's a lot of stuff. You get a spare smoke glass, spare O-rings and seals. It's going to be a stainless steel drip tip, which I'm not going to use. It's going to be a little spare grommet here for the filling port, which I'll show you later on. And here we are with the Ares 2 itself. On the top is going to be a 510 drip tip. This drip tip is similar to the ones on the slide tanks. It's got a little knob there. So when that drip tip is installed, you push the slide, you can't open it. You've got to take it out or lift it up slightly so we have to slide it open to fill. The fill part here, it's going to be a little membrane. If I remember rightly in the Ares 1, that was just open. Like I showed you in the spares, there's going to be a spare sealing gasket here. What you will need though is you need a small jeweler's screwdriver to take out these 2 small star screws, and then this will all slide off totally. You can take out that grommet and change if you need to. As like last time, there should be, and there is, a little P and D love heart. It says Innokin on the top, really nicely engraved, really smooth engraving I must say. And on the base, it's going to be your airflow. It's going to be slightly different than the first version, because I do know that they've added one other hole. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. I'll put the sizes here, but that smallest hole there is going to be a 0.8mm. They put like a gasket inside the airflow to increase the sealing of it. So yeah, you can have all 5 open or close them off one at a time. It's going to be a nice little click to it, all the way down to 1. But on this side here, there's going to be 1 small hole. If you turn that round, you can then just have like 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4, and so on. So you can have either 1 single hole at a time, or you can have like 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. Go ahead and screw this part. Take off the glass. It's going to be held over a nice thick silicone ring, and then the chamber here. It's a nice small dome chamber inside, and that chimney is nice and tight, I must say. On the outside of the chamber it does say Ares 2 MTL RTA. On this side it does say Platform Series and designed by P. Risardo and the Vaping Greek. Some people might not like all of this engraving and all this information. I myself am not keen on it. It might not bother you, or it might bother you. I'm going to put this on the chroma all quickly. And we will zoom in. So yeah, here are the build deck. It's going to be very similar to the original Ares in many ways. The post screws will be the same as last time. Undo the screws, drop the coil straight in. One leg goes in here. One leg will go in here. Screw it down. Put your wig over this barrier and into the wig holes. These barriers, they're going to be a barrier for the juice. But in my opinion, they're not just a barrier. They're like a support. When you've got your coil in here, you put your cotton through. Sometimes with a lot of RTAs, when that cotton gets wet, it sort of sags down, it starts touching the airflow. These 2 walls will help keep the cotton high above the airflow and not go down and touch it. And here we are under the coil. It's going to be the airflow. It's going to be a little slot. On the original Ares, I think it was about 5 or 6 small holes, very similar to the Simon at the time. But this little slot is adjustable. Get a little screwdriver. Put it inside here, and you can turn this. As you turn it, it will open and close this part. So you go to like a diamond shape, keep turning it and get it smaller and smaller. There's just a small tight hole, and back round to an open cyclops. This is really good. You can adjust it like this at the side, even when there's a cotton in here and coil. However, when you've got a build in here, it's going to be hard to see that. This is going to be very much a sort of set it and forget it sort of thing. Once you know the airflow that you like, you won't touch it again. But it's a good option that you can actually change it and adjust it. I've been using mine just open like a slot, but like I say, you can change it. It's a small hole, or bigger, 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 or wide open. Gonna put a quick build in here. The coil today, of course, is from Nature Vape. It's going to be my 1-core Clapton, 26 by 38 gauge camful. Inner diameter is 3mm. With this deck, you can get a 2.5 or a 3mm quite easily in this one. This will come out about a 0.98 home. So yes, get your coil, put one leg on one side and one leg on the other side. Really simple, really easy to do this one. Hold the first one down and screw it in. Once that side's in, just get your rod to hold it in place and then spin it around and do the other leg. And that's the coil installed. Simple and easy. Put it over slightly. And that's it. Simple as that. You can raise it slightly or lower it. It's hard to lower it because of these walls. You find it when you have a rod in there, that's going to be about as low as you can get it because of those barriers. But that's normally about the right sort of height. This came in at a 0.9. Go quickly dry fire it a few times. It's glowing nicely. Just go trim the legs. Like always, I always check my ohms. It's now 0.96. Get your chamber, screw it on, and watch your ohms. If they jump around, it means that one of those wires is still touching the outer chamber. That's still staying at a 0.95. That's totally screwed down, so it's fine. Gonna quickly pick this one up. I like to cut my cotton just down to the bottom of these threads. Give it a little fluff out. What I then do is give a little trim sort of on the sides. To make it like a little triangle at the ends. Like so. Then push it straight into the wicking holes. Because it's going to be like a GTA style wicking deck. Do a lot of cotton coming down here. That's why I do it like a little triangle. Just this little point here at the bottom. Yeah, just a little bit there. And a little bit there. Don't want too much cotton coming down. Don't want it coming all the way down to the base. Just a little tip like that just to get the wick started. The juice today is going to be my mixed juice. Lots of bubble gum. And the cotton's all saturated. You can just adjust it slightly, make sure it's all the way in. And then just screw back on the top cap. Like I said, you've got to take that 5-10 drip tip out to open it. Then just going to fill it up. Go set the airflow. I'm using mine with a 1 hole. I'll be using it on the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That for me is great because I like a slightly loose mouth to lung. Let's go top, have a quick vape. So yeah, there we are. That was the Innokin Ares 2, up close and personal. Gonna go over the fit finish first with this one. It's a nice, solid built RTA, I must say. Got a nice weight and a nice feel to it. All of the O-rings and the threading's been really good on it. I have plenty of good points and a few bad points. The bad points are going to be really subjective. They may not apply to you. Depends on how you feel. Good points will be, of course, mine's going to hold 4 mils of e-liquid straight away. The 22mm one will only hold 2 mils. Like I said, mine's going to be 24mm, so it has a larger juice capacity. That build deck is very similar to the Innokin Ares 1, with one big change being the airflow under the coil. On the original Innokin Ares, I think it's about 5 or 6 small holes, wasn't adjustable. With this one, it's got a little turn dial, you can adjust it. That adjustable airflow, it's going to be a set it and forget it sort of thing. Because once you've got your coil in there and your wick, yes, you can adjust it whilst it's pre-built, but you can't really see it as you spin it around. So it's going to be one of these things that when you first get it, you try it a few times till you find the right setting. After that, you'll leave it alone. You won't change that one. Another good point will be the airflow at the base. They've given it one more hole, which is going to be a 0.8mm. And inside that base, it is going to be like a silicon seal, giving it a really more defined airflow control. The original Ares was a bit airy sometimes for a lot of people. In my review, I thought it was a bit too open and airy. This one, you can really fine tune for a nice tight mouth to lung. Fully open will be a really, really restricted direct to lung. This is not aimed at that. This is going to be aimed purely for a mouth to lung. Again, that build deck, they've kept that simple process where you undo the 2 screws, drop your legs straight in for your coil and screw them down. The only bad side to that build deck will be those post screws. They are facing a certain way. If you buy pre-made coils, you may find your legs are the wrong way round. So you got to put your coil in the other way around and then screw it down. When you screw it down, you got to pull the coil up slightly. if you build your own coils, it won't matter. You can build it according to the size and the way those posts are. I wish that it came with maybe 2 ways of putting the coils in, but it's still the same one way. Another good point will be, of course, the wicking and the flavour. If you get this coiled right and you wick it right, you can get really, really good flavour with this one. I've been enjoying my juices that I've been trying with this one. I've tried tobaccos, I've tried a custard, now I'm trying this one. I have a few bad points, like I said. These are going to be personal. It may not bother you, it might bother you. I'm going to zoom in. I don't like all this engraving on the chimney. I think it's a bit too much. I'd rather have been plain. And the airflow control here, I again don't like that engraving. That airflow control on the base, like I said, is quite big. That could be maybe half the size, making this whole RTA slightly smaller. It might not bother you, all that engraving and all that logos. It's going to be a personal thing. I just think it spoils the look of it slightly. This RTA is performing really well, giving me good flavour and really easy to build and wick. But I just don't like the appearance of it, just because of the airflow at the base, all that engraving, and again on that chimney. It's too much engraving. It shouldn't be there. We don't need to see all that. I know it's the Ares 2. I know who made it. I know who it's by. Keep it all on the base, or not at all. I will keep using it, but it won't be what I will reach for every day, but it will be there in my cupboard, and I will be using it now again. Like I said, this was sent over to me from SourceMore. Big thanks to them. If you're going to find any more information on SourceMore, down below is a link to my website. My website, SourceMore, is there on my vendors page. They've also given me a discount code for you, my viewers. That again is on my website page with a discount code page. Guys and girls, hope you liked the video. Did like the video, why not give me a thumbs up? Disliked, of course, give me a thumbs down. And yeah, I will see you all on the next one.